history. Just 1 point from 10 games for Chris Wilder's side. Leicester too come here on the back of a somewhat surprising defeat at home form. They do tend to get the majority of their points away from home. That could be ominous as far as Wilder's men are concerned. Let's get straight for Sheffield United from the side that lost 1-0 against West Bromwich Albion last time out, despite peppering the Baggies goal. John Lundstrom comes in for Ollie Norwood in midfield. It means Aaron Ramsdale is the goalkeeper. A back three of Basham, Egan and Bryan, Baldock and Lowe the wing backs, Lundstrom, Berg and Fleck in midfield, with Ollie McBurney no goals in his last 14 matches alongside Oliver Burke up front. A couple of alterations for Leicester from that Fulham defeat. Mark Albrighton and Jose Perez making a rare Premier League appearance. Out go Thomas and Pratt. We think it will be Schmeichel in goal. A back three of Fofana, Evans and Fuchs, Albrighton and Justin the wing backs, with Tillemans and Mendy deepest in midfield, Perez and Maddison either side of Jamie Vardy, the Sheffield Wednesday fan as a boy, up front. Those are the two lineups. Dean Hammond is your co-commentator this afternoon, someone who has a foot in both camps. Dean, what are you expecting?
Well, it should be a good game, to be honest. Sheffield United have obviously not scored many goals this season. They've not won yet, and Leicester are very, very good away from home. So Sheffield United will be looking to pick up a result, looking to pick up their form. But I think there'll be goals today, I really do. I think Sheffield United probably realise they need to start winning games, and Leicester need to get back to form. So I'm predicting goals today.
12 of Leicester's 18 points have come away from the King Power Stadium. What is it about their style of play this season that makes them more successful on their travels?
I think it just comes down to the talisman in Jamie Vardy. Away from home, he tends to get a bit more room to run in behind. That's his strength, with his pace, because the home team is generally on them to attack the away team. So when Leicester are away from home, Jamie gets that space in behind on the counter-attack. And like I say, he's the talisman. He's a top player. His finishing's fantastic. His movement's really, really good now. I think he's developed that under Brendan Rodgers. So it comes down to probably Jamie being more of a goal threat for Leicester City away from home.
And I mentioned there the number of shots on goal that Sheffield United had in that defeat against West Bromwich Albion. We were talking before we came on air. You said they deserved to win that game. 21 shots without scoring. I guess therein lies the problem, really, and why they find themselves propping up the rest at the bottom of the table.
And I think that really is the problem. Sheffield United are a good team. They play a good brand of football. It's different, it's individual, you know, with the centre half sometimes ending up in the attacking third and an attacking box. So they're trying to score goals, they're trying to create opportunities, and like we spoke off air, they deserve to win the West Brom game. They were the better team, they created better chances, but when you're not scoring goals and confidence is low and you don't take them chances, it becomes even more difficult.
Well, I mentioned the starting lineups. Let's just run you through the two benches as well. The pitch looking in resplendent condition ahead of kick-off here in Yorkshire. Verritz is the backup goalkeeper for Sheffield United. Their bench made up of Jagielka, McGoldrick, Norwood, who drops out of the starting 11 this afternoon, Osborne, Robinson, Brewster and Billy Sharp looking for his 100th league goal for the club. He would join a very elite list should he bring out the century this afternoon. He'll have to do it though from the bench. For Leicester, so Danny Ward is there.
I think it's people's lives, and football without the players and supporters it's not the same. So getting supporters back in is important right the way through the country, and I'm only hoping that in the not too distant future the Leicester City supporters are going to be able to get in and watch the team as well. But just seeing some of the faces of during the week, when some of and that's ultimately why we work. We love the sport. It's a real passion, but it's also people's lives, and we like to give that joy, and if people can be there, and the quicker we can get them into the stadiums, then of course the better.
On Leicester, of course, fans have been returning to football grounds up and down the country this weekend. None inside Bramall Lane, unfortunately, this afternoon. Sheffield United in Tier 3 under the new lockdown restrictions, which means that no supporters can attend. It's the top tier, and the Premier League, of course, that they are trying to make sure they stay very much a part of. Have they got any chance? Dean Hammond, history tells us that if you've only got 1 point after 10 games, you're going down.
I really do believe they have got a chance, because they're a good team. Evidence of last season, held their own in the Premier League. Like Brendan mentioned there, the second season syndrome does have an effect. Teams become familiar in how you play. But Sheffield United are creating opportunities, and I think that's the positive. They're not taking them, that's the problem. But when they're creating chances, they can still win games. And I think there's 3 worse teams worse than them in the Premier League, so they've definitely still got a chance, and I still think and believe they'll be able to stay up.
Detained. Everyone's going on about, we should be tracking and testing, and I just don't know how that is going to happen. Evenings with James Whale, weeknights from 7 on Talk Radio.
In a world of 24/7 global sportscasting and instant news infotainment, one man bestrides the airwaves like a snow-capped Caledonian colossus. Hello, I'm Jim White. Jim White, anchorman. Mid-morning news team, assemble. Jim White and Natalie Sawyer, the #1 rated news source for breaking sports stories, big-name guests, and liquid showbiz charisma.
Great Odin's Raven. That's quite a transfer.
There's nothing burgundy about Jim White. Tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport.
In the spring of the year 2020 AD, a deadly enemy rages like a torrent of fire between the ends of empire.
My name is Maximus Talksportus Pandemicus, gladiator of the sports radio. Gird up your loins and battle the invasion of COVID-19, because what you do today will echo in eternity.
TalkSport Legion, the Toon Tortoise formation against COVID-19.
Show this virus no mercy by keeping a distance of at least 2 meters at all times. That's 5 Roman feet centurions. Together, Legion, TalkSportus can defeat it.
TalkSportus Maximus.
On my signal, unleash hand sanitizer.
Keep it on, stay informed, and give coronavirus the red cardus.
Are you not hand sanitized?
20 years of TalkSport.
Gentlemen, good evening.
There's no such thing as an overnight success.
Accrington Stanley 4, titanium plasmatronic death droids from the future, 0.
Excess.
Wasn't getting up, I was just getting in.
Excitement.
Excuse me,
And extremely strong opinions.
I spend my life covering the big game at the big level.
On DAB, medium wave, and on the smart speaker. 20 years of TalkSport.
For all the latest news, opinions, and advice, listen to Talk Radio throughout the day and stay informed as events unfold.
We're now in a position to start implementing the next part of our plan.
Find out what's happening now and what may happen next, all day, every day.
If the government gets to grips with the plan, then surely we will be able to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Listen now on DAB Digital Radio, online, via the Talk Radio app, or ask your smart speaker to play Talk Radio.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Leicester from Bramall Lane. I'm your host, Alex Crook. Alongside me is the former Southampton, Brighton and Leicester midfielder, Dean Hammond. This is Premier League Live. And if ever a reminder was needed of how unforgiving the Premier League can be, just ask Chris Wilder. At the end of last season, he was being touted as a potential manager of the year after guiding Sheffield United to the brink of a European place in their first campaign back in the top flight. Now Wilder is having to answer questions about his future after overseeing an unwanted club record of 13 games without victory. The Blades are also the only club in England's top 4 divisions yet to pick up a win this season, but are refusing to admit survival is a forlorn hope. As for Leicester, well, their sights are set very much on the opposite end of the Premier League table, although Monday's shock defeat at home to struggling Fulham has tapered talk of a potential title bid for the champions of 2015. The Foxes have, though, saved their best form for the road, winning 4 of their last 5 away matches. We are about to get off and underway, the second of 4 live commentaries here on Premier League Live this afternoon. West Bromwich Albion have gone down to a 5-1 defeat at home to Crystal Palace. Christian Benteke scoring twice in that game. When was the last time that happened? That will be music to the ears of Sheffield United as they look to pilot their way towards a relegation great escape. If they were to win this afternoon for the first time this season, they would be only 3 points shy of safety. As for Leicester, they begin the game in 6th place, but they can move level on points with Liverpool and Tottenham in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Of course, both those teams in action this afternoon as the players take a knee. The support against racial prejudice and injustice continues. We are now off and underway under slate grey skies in Sheffield. Sheffield United against Leicester. The Blades in their red and white striped jerseys, black shorts and predominantly red socks, shooting from left to right. Sorry, right to left in this first half. Leicester all in blue, attacking the goal away to our right. I'll just run you through the 2 lineups one more time. Sheffield United have Ramsdale in goal, Basham, Egan and Bryan in defence. Baldock and Lowe are the wing backs. Lundstrom, who comes in for Norwood, alongside Berg and Fleck in midfield. McBurney and Burke up front. And well, Leicester, as we expected, with Schmeichel in goal, Fofana, Evans and Fuchs are the back 3. Albrighton on one wing, Justin on the other. Then come Tielemans and Mendy. Perez making a rare Premier League start, and Maddison in support of Jamie Vardy, who scored 11 goals in his last 12 Premier League away games up front. It's Yuri Tielemans, the talented Belgian midfielder, who sprays a lovely ball out to this right-hand side, and Albrighton, who will be invited to attack. Vardy just rolls it to Perez on the edge of the area. Maddison with a cross towards the far post. It's over the head of Justin, who was arriving late, and Justin unable to keep it in play. It will be a throw-in for Sheffield United, and we say good afternoon once again to Dean Hammond.
Hi Alex, how are you doing? Looking forward to this game.
What have you made of the opening 90 seconds?
Well, I think we've seen there Leicester would be very patient in possession, but then they'll try and get the ball forward and play good combinations, 1-2 and crossing the box. And Sheffield United started on the front foot, tried to press with energy and intensity to not allow Leicester to get into that rhythm and that pattern that they enjoy to do so much.
Here is Albrighton, one of few members of Leicester's Premier League title winning campaign, still part of the first team pitch at the King Power Stadium. That incredible 5,000 to 1 success. Chris Wilder is giving his team plenty of vocal encouragement in these early exchanges. It's been a really disappointing start of the season, really disappointing run of form, actually going back to the start of lockdown. They've only taken 12 points since football resumed towards the back end of last season. That's 5 fewer than any other team, Sheffield United, so the rot had already set in before this campaign got underway. Here's Max Lowe marauding down the left. He was in an offside position, so it's going to be a free kick for Leicester down by their own right corner flag. Brendan Rodgers looking on, looking for the victory that will take him to 100 points as Leicester City manager, the former Liverpool and Celtic boss. But with 4 minutes played here. It remains Sheffield United 0, Leicester 0. Don't forget the North London derby still to come. That's a 4:30 kick-off between Arsenal and Tottenham. That's followed at 7:15 by Wolves' trip to Liverpool. The in-form Diogo Jota against his former club as Mark Albrighton stopped in his tracks down the left-hand side by Keane Bryan. Made his Premier League debut in that defeat against West Bromwich Albion last time out. They have missed Jack O'Connell, haven't they, Dean, in that centre-back position?
Yeah, they really have. You know, a dominant centre-half who's actually particularly good on the ball as well, getting forward, comfortable. He's been at the club a few years now, so he's experienced the promotions, and they have missed him, you're right. He does give that back three, that balance that they crave.
Now, privately, it was a source of some frustration for Chris Wilder that they didn't bring in a replacement in the transfer window. Sheffield United looking to start on the front foot here. Burke down the right-hand side. He's got Baldock bombing forward in support, and his cross is blocked behind for a corner by Christian Fuchs, the veteran Austrian. So a chance for Sheffield United to pile numbers into the Leicester penalty area, and they only hold the score with 5 minutes played. It's the first corner that Leicester have to defend, and it has been a problem this season for Brendan Rodgers' team. 6 goals conceded from set pieces. Johnny Evans has headed that one away. As far as the D on the edge of the box, kept alive and played out to this left-hand side, and John Egan, who was forward for the corner. Now Bryan with a chance to cross. Good ball in again and headed behind at the near post by Evans. Good early pressure from Sheffield United.
Well, they look up for this game. They're playing with high energy, trying to get the ball forward, and there's 2 set pieces now, and like you just highlighted, Leicester have had a frailty with defending set pieces, so I'm sure Chris Wilder's highlighted that to the players, and they'll be looking to attack the ball early on here.
Yeah, the corner this time is from the near side as we look, the left-hand side of the field.
Happy you have him.
Once again, Basham and Egan are forward, so too is Bryan, so all 3 central defenders summoned up to attack this ball, which will be played in by John Lundstrom. It'll be a right-footed delivery from Lundstrom in the white footwear, puts his left arm in the air. Leicester again struggling to really deal with it. Christian Fuchs in the end slices his clearance. He's gone out for a throw-in down by the far corner flag. It bounced at least twice inside the penalty area before he made that clearance.
Yeah, it was a brave decision by Christian there to let the ball bounce in the box, and just kind of scuffed his clearance. So looking a little bit nervous here, Leicester defending here early on.
Yeah, confidence rocked perhaps by that defeat against Fulham. Took the ball out to this right-hand side for Albrighton to come forward again, looking to get Vardy in behind. They couldn't really do that on Monday night as often as Brendan Rodgers would have liked, and on this occasion the ball from Albrighton carries all the way through to the yellow-shirted Aaron Ramsdale. Here's Perez winning it back high up the field though for Leicester. Former Newcastle man, forward to Maddison, only Vardy to aim at in the centre. Maddison just delays his pass and then plays it out to Perez on the edge of the box. His shot blocked bravely by Egan and then scooped away. Evans heads it back towards the Sheffield United penalty area. Baldock taking no chances, just puts it out for a Leicester throw. That's better from the Foxes.
It certainly is, and it was a good interception by Perez. Played Maddison wide, and that's where you want James Maddison on the ball. He's very creative, and he was looking to just play a 1-2 with Perez to get a shot away. So better by Foxes, just playing their way into the game, and I'm sure if they get a good amount of possession, they'll find that flow that they normally find.
It's a view of the former Sheffield United and Leicester midfielder Dean Hammond here on Premier League Live. 0-0 the score between 2 of his former clubs. Leicester won both meetings between these 2 last season to make it 3 in a row. Here is the blonde-haired Wesley Fofana, the 19-year-old summer signing from St Etienne, who's adapted so quickly to life in the Premier League. Looks right at home alongside Evans and Fuchs today. The heart of that Leicester back line. Here is Fofana. He's comfortable on the ball as well. Just drops the shoulder to get away from Oliver Burke and then taps it in field for Tillemans, whose pass is a poor one. Sheffield United maybe with a chance to counter here. Down the left-hand side. Low. Away from Tillemans. And crosses into the area. That was a really important interception from Johnny Evans, because Burke was loitering with intent there. He just stuck out the hind leg, Johnny Evans, and Leicester will get it clear with Tillemans in the right back position. It was a dangerous ball in.
It certainly was, and just that little touch by Johnny Evans stopped Oliver Burke getting on the end of that. And a good move by Sheffield United. They've started well down the left-hand side, attacking with force, trying to get early cross in the box to make Leicester defend.
Yeah, and stop the supply into Jamie Vardy, as Fulham did so well a few nights ago. Here is Maddison in the multicoloured boots, comes infield to Tillemans. Now Christian Fuchs, who just siphons it out to the left-hand side. Perez taking on Baldock, coming infield. Leicester dominating possession in the last couple of minutes, but at the moment Sheffield United keeping a really good shape. Fuchs is going to switch the play to Fofana just inside the Leicester half. He's got some room to move into, but he plays it forward quickly to Maddison. Maddison getting it back from Tillemans and fizzing a pass into the feet of Perez, who with his back to goal has still found some space, and he's found Jamie Vardy, and Jamie Vardy hammers against the post. What a chance that was for Jamie Vardy to add to his run of away goals. The goalkeeper was beaten, denied by the frame of the goal.
That was a brilliant move by Leicester. Great build-up play, very, very patient, and a great slide ball through from Perez. And you expect Jamie to finish that. A good strike, but the post there has saved Sheffield United. So Leicester are on top now.
Here comes Sheffield United on the counter-attack. Well read again by Evans. Albrighton looks up, plays it just to the edge of the centre circle, and Perez, he was actually fouled, Albrighton, but the referee's going to play an advantage here, and again Perez has tried to guide it out to Vardy, who's forced wide this time, down by the right corner flag. So it goes back to Maddison, or Albrighton I should say, his cross right-footed, headed away, and Vardy lets it bounce and out for a throw. 0-0, but Jamie Vardy, the boyhood Sheffield Wednesday fan, so close to a goal against their arch rivals. He timed his run to perfection. It was a lovely slide rule pass from Perez, and he went for the near post. Maybe, perhaps the better option might have been to go across Aaron Ramsdale. Couldn't beat the upright in any case. Here's Fofana, who started the game really well, the number 3 for Leicester. Now Papi Mendy just knocks it forward to Maddison. Maddison trying to switch the play again out to this right-hand side, and Albrighton. Perez and Vardy await the cross. Albrighton with a left-footed delivery to the far post. Only headed away by Baldock as far as Maddison on the far touchline. He's into the penalty area. Good dancing feet from Maddison, trying to get a cross in here. Looking for Vardy. Blocked behind by Baldock, and Leicester have their first corner of the game.
But technically, Leicester look brilliant. So comfortable on the ball. Their shape's fantastic. I mean, Mark Albrighton's been brought back into the team, and his delivery is fantastic. And they're on top now. But the technical players in Maddison, Vardy and Perez getting on the ball, it's very, very dangerous for Sheffield United to allow them to have that much time.
Maddison is going to take the corner. With the lack of any crowd, you can hear every word that the players are shouting to each other. Plenty of vocal encouragement for both teams as Maddison prepares to take this corner. It's looped up into the air over the head of Justin. Evans lets it roll for Albrighton on this near touchline. The cross is going to be deep into the 6-yard box, headed away by McBurney. Evans, who stayed forward, is beaten in the air by Burt, but Tillemans plucks it from the sky and just sweeps it back to Fuchs inside the centre circle. Leicester absolutely dominant now for the past 4 or 5 minutes. Maddison with a deep ball in, and Aaron Ramsdale, I think, may have played that behind for a corner when I think it was skipping away and behind anyway.
I think it was. I think he was just aware of Perez there and tried to spread his body and got an unlikely touch on it. But
it bounced off his knee.
It certainly did. But like you say, Leicester dominating possession now, dominating the ball and making Sheffield United work very, very hard. So Sheffield United just need to be conscious of this, be patient, concentration, and try not to lose a goal in this period.
Aaron Ramsdale has only kept 1 clean sheet in his last 30 Premier League games. Part of the Bournemouth team that were relegated last season, one of their better players. He is organising his defence as Maddison plays in the corner. Guided away by Lundstrom at the near post and out for a Leicester throw, but still well inside the Sheffield United half away to our right. Leicester have scored 8 goals in the opening quarter of an hour of matches this season. Running out of time to extend that run. We play 14 minutes as a free kick is conceded by Max Lowe. Leicester with a chance here to test the Sheffield United defence once more. 0-0 the score here on Premier League Live. Madison standing over the ball. Stuart Atwell is the referee this afternoon. Madison with the slick back hair. He's going to play this free kick in right-footed from the right-hand side. Again, plenty of blue shirts to aim at in the centre. That's a terrible ball. Was he going for goal there?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I think that was definitely, you've seen the keeper, Ramsdale, just move to his right and tried a little cheeky effort there, but he has got the quality to be able to do that. He's not quite executed that one right, but James Maddison has got that quality to do that. I'm not sure if I was a centre-half coming up for that set piece, I'd be too happy. But yeah, it was definitely a shot. 15
minutes gone then. Still goalless at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United have only scored 4 goals this season, just the 1 from open play. Although if you believe the expected goals stats, they are underperforming. Should have scored 4 times that number, the chances they've created over the course of the campaign so far. Here is Vardy again trying to run off the shoulder of Bryan down this right hand side. Brighton with a chip ball into the area, headed clear by Basham. Picked up now in the left wing position by Christian Fuchs. Very comfortable Leicester on the ball now after a nervy start to this game.
I mean, they've started brilliant, Alex. And they're so comfortable in possession. Their movement, every player moving off the ball, receiving the ball on the back foot, turning, switching play. They look brilliant. Really, really good start to the game for them.
Here's Perez trying to drive Leicester forward towards the penalty area. It's cleared away by Ramsdale just inside the 6-yard box, and McBurney just out-muscles Christian Fuchs. He does look a bit lost, doesn't he, Christian Fuchs, in the centre-back position that he's having to play at the moment.
Yeah, Christian obviously is a natural left-back. He's played it all of his career, but I mean, he's a good player. He can adapt to play there. He's been playing there all season. He is getting older, so, you know, to move centrally is a natural progression, but yeah, it's not his natural position.
Here's Jamie Vardy, right corner of the 18-yard box. Madison thought about the shot and then instead goes out to the left-hand side, and the diminutive Mendy. They have been well drilled so far, Sheffield United, in these opening 16 minutes, not making it easy for Leicester to play in behind them as they're trying to do. Perez just tries to flick it around Basham, who stands tall, and now the home team perhaps can think about a counter-attack with Fleck. Here is Lundstrom, stretches and strides over the halfway line, plays it into the feet of Burke, claims he was fouled there. Oliver Burke, referee, didn't agree, and it's going to be a Leicester throw. That throw-in will be taken by Fofana. Leicester in European action in midweek, but having already qualified for the knockout stages of the Europa League, Brendan Rodgers able to rest several first-team players. Sheffield United pick up the ball with Sander Berg just inside his own half. There's a poor pass, and it will be a throw-in for Leicester. Where do you place your old club, Dean, Leicester, in the food chain this season? Are they top 4 contenders? Is it Europa League again?
I think they're definitely top 4 contenders, but I think they're contenders. It's such a tough league, so many good teams, and I think the European games they've got now can be a distraction. I don't think they've got the biggest squad in the world, particularly with the injuries they've had. So they'll be aiming for the top 4. Are they total contenders? Not, I don't think so. But the top 4 is a realistic ambition, and that's good for not a club like Leicester, but to get in the top 4 is a brilliant achievement.
Yeah, the top of the table has got a more familiar look to it now, hasn't it? Yeah. With Chelsea and Liverpool, Tottenham, even Manchester United, who can't stop winning away from home, right up there. It's difficult for the likes of Leicester and Everton and Wolverhampton Wanderers to bridge that gap to the so-called Big Six. So I guess you could say it's almost a Big Five now, with Arsenal languishing in 14th place.
It is, and I think, if Leicester get their best 11 out, then they can beat anyone. They really can. They're a top team, but can they do that consistently over the season to try and compete for the title? I'm not sure this year.
They've had lots of injury problems already early in this campaign. No Castagna. Indeed, he's missed a few games as well. Here's Vardy in behind again, up against Ramsdale again, tries to cut it back for Perez. It was almost an own goal. Stabbed behind in the end by John Egan. The nervy moment for the Sheffield United captain after Vardy again had raced in behind.
It really was. I mean, it's a good run by Jamie. I think he's offside, to be honest. I think the flag's gone up, but that's what Jamie wants, that space in behind, to run in behind. His electric pace, he's brilliant there. Try to put it back, and John Egan would have been a little bit nervous there, thinking that's going to go in. But I always find that rule a little bit interesting, that they have to continue playing until it comes to a stop before the linesman puts his flag up. I'm not sure I'd enjoy that as a player, especially as a defender.
Yeah, and I was speaking to one Premier League manager, I think it was David Moyes actually, earlier in the season. He was saying it's going to result in more injuries because defenders will be getting back to try and make last-ditch tackles that they don't necessarily need to, because they won't be aware that their opponent is offside. Do you subscribe to that?
I do, because you have to react as a player, and you'd be expected to react by your manager. So if you think it's offside, but you still got to play on, and you have to sprint back when you don't need to, it can cause extra injuries. And you will see it. You saw with Jamie there, when he ran in behind, he was looking at the linesman to see if he put his flag up, and that's a natural thing to do. So I'm not sure about it.
Here's Vardy again after Sheffield United had played their way into trouble. Perez into the penalty area. Can he cut back the cross here? He plays it back in field to Mendy, and again the flag goes up belatedly against Perez this time. He's not convinced. It's a free kick for Sheffield United. It was a mistake by Lundstrom, passing the ball straight to Perez. He in turn played it into Vardy, and that's very tight against Perez.
I mean, it's very close. If Leicester had scored then, I would have been interested to see what VAR had made of that decision. But Sheffield have to be careful there. Lundstrom's tried to play the ball back to keep possession, but that's where Leicester are dangerous. When they can counter-attack at pace like that with the forwards they have, they're very, very dangerous.
Sheffield United 0, Leicester 0, 21 minutes played. Jamie Vardy's shot against the post, as close as anybody's come to breaking the deadlock. Here is Tielemans in the right back position, drops the shoulder and gets away from Fleck, and then Albrighton into Maddison on the halfway line. He got right underneath the ball, Maddison, and it's brought down from the sky by Egan. And here comes Sheffield United with Sander Berg. Skips away from the tackle from Mendy, and he finds Oliver Burke against the goalkeeper. He just lost his footing, Burke, when he was almost one-on-one with Kasper Schmeichel. How big a moment could that be?
Yeah, very, very good play by Sheffield United. Berg breaking through the middle of the pitch, Oliver Burke sliding, McBurney sliding Burke in. Really good run, but just couldn't quite keep his balance. He was off balance, trying to get on his right foot. And unfortunately, if Sheffield United are going to win this game today, they're the opportunities they need to take.
Oliver Burke hasn't been on the winning side in 20 Premier League matches, not scored in the Premier League. The summer signing from West Bromwich Albion, and he's still grimacing. He knows what a big opportunity that could have been, and he just have been able to keep his feet. Really good play, as Dean Hammond was articulating there, from Sheffield United in the build-up. But he just lost his studs on the greasy surface, and suddenly the chance had gone.
Well, he does have that pace. He's almost moving too fast for himself, and he lost his balance. But that pace he's gone behind is going to be important for Sheffield United, because Johnny Evans is obviously, not the quickest anymore. So Oliver Burke running in behind, stretching his legs out, he might get the opportunities when Sheffield United can turn over the ball and break on Leicester at pace.
Tielemans with the raking pass out to the left, and Perez, it wasn't the best header away by Egan. And here now come Leicester with Justin over on that far side. Maddison just side-foots the ball into the feet of the on-rushing Fofana, and now Mendy takes over. Back to Maddison again. Leicester shifting the ball from left to right, but Sheffield United have got plenty of red and white jerseys back behind it. Here's Perez now to Fofana. Mendy takes over once more. You can hear the Sheffield United coaching staff really encouraging and cajoling their players as we go beyond the halfway point of the first half here on Premier League Live. Here's Mendy for Leicester. Still trying to pick their way through here. Vardy comes deep and plays it out to the left, and Justin, who crosses, might be brought down by Albrighton here. Left-footed volley. Perez on the follow-up, and Jose Perez rifles Leicester City in front. But I was going to say the flag is up. It isn't. The goal will stand. And Jose Perez, a surprise name in many Leicester fans' eyes on the team sheet this afternoon, repays the faith of Brendan Rodgers, and it's that sinking feeling again for Sheffield United. 24 minutes played, Sheffield United 0, Leicester 1.
Well, there didn't look that much danger, Alex. You know, Sheffield United were keeping a really good shape, but a good ball into the box, and Mark Albrighton gets the ball onto his left foot, a good strike, and it just dropped to Perez, and he's not going to miss from there. So a welcome return for him, a welcome goal, but it is that comfortable possession that Leicester have, and they're building up that flow, and they're enjoying the game. So going to be difficult for Sheffield United now, and that's how it happens in Premier League football. You know, the other end, Oliver Burke gets an opportunity, doesn't take it. Leicester get an opportunity, and Perez does.
Only Jose Perez's second goal in his last 24 appearances. Well, Sheffield United had started the game well in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Leicester slowly but surely have begun to take control, and now they have a goal to show for that territorial domination. Sheffield United staring down the barrel of yet another defeat. Will be their 10th in 11 games at the start of this Premier League season. Still plenty of time to get back in it, but given the few goals that they have managed, Chris Wilder's men, over the campaign so far, you can't make much of a case for anything other now than a Leicester victory. Sheffield United still haven't had a shot in anger. Here's Fleck trying to change that over the halfway line, away from Tielemans, and plays it down this left-hand side, low with a deep cross to the far post, but nobody really there to attack it. Justin, I think, was going to watch it out of play, but was unaware that Baldock was rampaging on that right-hand side, and Sheffield United have it back. Basham with the cross, and Albrighton side-foots it behind for a corner, having got the shout from the goalkeeper Schmeichel.
Well, a good reaction by Sheffield United, getting into Leicester's half, and I think the theme for them is getting balls into the box to make Leicester defend, and but they need to get more bodies in the box to capitalise on them opportunities. So a good reaction by Sheffield United after going 1-0 down. But they need to stay on top of this game. They need to stay within the game, and maybe capitalise on these set pieces, because, like you mentioned before, Leicester are not the best at defending set pieces this season.
Yeah, this might well be Sheffield United's best hope of a route back into the game. 26 play, 1-0 Leicester lead. Lundstrom with a corner, and it's headed in, and they are back in the game, and Ollie McBurney has ended his 15-match goal drought, slides on his knees in celebration. Sheffield United, having conceded the opening goal to Jose Perez, hit back almost immediately. McBurney with a header. It is Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1.
Well, we were hoping for goals today, and we've got two in the space of 5-10 minutes, but really, really good delivery, an excellent header, and Ollie McBurney will need that. You know, he was the record signing. Strikers need to earn judged on scoring goals, but a really good header and a great reaction by Sheffield United. So hopefully we're in for a good game today. Both teams look like they can score goals.
Leicester's lead lasted only 3 minutes. Ollie McBurney,
great header,
with a bullet header into the corner. Leicester conceding from a set piece once again in the Premier League this season. It's been their Achilles heel, and just a response that Chris Wilder would have demanded. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1.
I think with Leicester, they just missed that dominant presence. You know, Wes Morgan at centre-half attacking the ball. I think that may be the issue from the set pieces.
Sionchu's been a big loss, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's an excellent player, really is, and he actually loves defending, which is nice to see from a defender in modern football. So they have missed him.
I think Sheffield United need to get a bit closer to James Maddison, who is just starting to run the game from midfield for Leicester. Here he is again, halfway inside Blades territory, out to the left, and Mendy. That goal doesn't seem to have knocked Leicester off their stride. Tielemans rolls it out to the right, and Fofana. And Albrighton now with a chance maybe to cross. Blocked by Lowe, only as far as Fofana. Tillemans to his left takes over and then tries to slide the ball forward to Madison, who made a really good run. Tillemans couldn't find him. And a foul by Tillemans against Fleck as he tried to win the ball back. It will be a free kick for Sheffield United.
Sheffield United's shape's really good there. You know, waiting for a Leicester player to force the ball, to try and slide the ball in between the defenders. And then when Sheffield United intercept it, can they break on Leicester to create opportunities? So, no, it's been a good start to the game. Entertaining game after almost half an hour in.
Chris Wilder deep in conversation with Alan Neil, his trusted right-hand man. Two very experienced managers. Chris Wilder, I was reading, preparing for this game, has never been sacked, Dean Hammond, as a manager. It's some record to have on your CV.
It really is.
Here's Vardy, right corner of the penalty area, waiting for support, hammers his cross against Egan, and Sheffield United will clear it upfield now via the left foot of Keane Bryan. Johnny Evans with the towering header, picked up now by Sander Berg, and here comes Basham over halfway, loves to get forward. Chris Basham, those overlapping centre backs that Chris Wilder likes to deploy. And then Lundstrom trying to switch the play out to the left-hand side, but too much leather on the pass. It's behind for a goal kick as we reach the half-hour mark. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Jose Perez volleying Leicester in front on 24 minutes. Ollie McBurney levelling with a header from a corner just 3 minutes later. And Brendan Rodgers with plenty to ponder from these opening 30 minutes. Schmeichel there with a heavy pass out to Fofana, who does well to turn away from Burke and then give it back to Schmeichel, who clears upfield. Vardy trying to put Egan under pressure. Egan nods it out to the right-hand side, and Vardy has been penalised for a foul. It will be a free kick for Sheffield United. Apart from the shot against the post, it's been a relatively quiet opening 31 minutes for Jamie Vardy.
It has, and his movement, he's got him behind a couple of times. I think he'd be disappointed that he didn't score the goal, and you're right, he probably should have gone across goal. But yeah, it's been quite a few nice touches, but he's always dangerous, especially as Sheffield United play attacking football there with that space in behind.
Burney winning the header on the edge of the penalty area, but led with the elbow. It's going to be a free kick for Leicester. Despite McBurney protesting his innocence, Fofana has stayed down holding his face just inside the D. Jose Perez last Premier League goal was against Sheffield United. Obviously likes playing the Blades. He was the man who opened the scoring for Leicester. Looks a bit ominous for the hosts of that front, but they hit straight back with a goal from the corner. 1-1 the score as we move into the final 13 minutes of the first half. Don't forget you can tweet us this afternoon. Let us know where in the world you are listening at TalkSport Live. Schmeichel, the Leicester captain, prepares to take this free kick, just scraping the mud from his studs. The former Premier League champion. He plays it out to the left-hand side, but over the head of Christian Fuchs and out for a Sheffield United throw. Sheffield United waiting for their first win against Leicester in 12 and a half years since a 7-minute hat-trick from James Beattie gave them all 3 points. As Ramsdale clears upfield for the Blades, but it bounces out of play on halfway, and Albrighton will take the throw for Leicester. You'll be the happier of two managers, you think, Dick?
If I'm honest, I think Brendan Rodgers would be happy with the way Leicester play, but for Chris Wilder, I think to get that goal, you know, they've not scored many goals this season, to go 1-0 down, to react how they have, I think Chris will be very happy. You know, Sheffield United held a good shape, they're playing with his energy trying to press Leicester, so I think potentially he'll be the happier manager just because they've reacted well and got a goal back and they're back in the game.
Players are using the yellow winter ball this afternoon. It's a chilly afternoon in South Yorkshire. Certainly it's been a cold start to the season from the home team, but on level terms here with Leicester attacking down the left-hand side with Maddison. Back into the centre circle where Johnny Evans just scoops it out to the right-hand side, and Fofana, comfortable coming forward for Fofana. And he might be used again here by Tillemans on the right-hand side. Fofana into the feet of the Leicester goal scorer Perez. He was trying to pick out Albrighton, but Max Lowe did well. Tries to set Sheffield United away on a counter-attack. He was looking for Oliver Burke over the halfway line, but could only find Johnny Evans. And here's Fuchs now for Leicester, who finds Tillemans inside the centre circle. Patient build-up again from Leicester. Fofana out to Albrighton, gives it back to the central defender. And then Johnny Evans switches the play to Fuchs down the left-hand side. So good ball into Maddison. Just stamps it out to that far touchline, and Justin. Maddison again here in possession, but he's back to goal, plays it into the centre circle, and Evans takes over. Fofana's pass intercepted by Sanderberg, who then shoves Perez needlessly to the floor. It's a free kick for Leicester, and I'm not sure Sanderberg really needs to do that.
No, obviously it was a good interception and a poor touch from him, and just give a silly free kick away. But good shape again by Sheffield United. You can hear Chris Wilder shouting on the side for Oliver Burke to stay high up. When they win the ball, they want to break quickly with that ball over the top, the ball in behind, to use his pace. So they'll be happy with Leicester having the ball there, playing sideways, playing backwards. So be interesting, a bit of a chess match at the moment. Who can open each up first?
Well, Maddison is going to take the free kick. The vanishing spray has been applied in front of a one-man wall, and the Oliver Burke protecting the penalty area. Maddison, the dink delivery, good header away by McBurney, who's gone down inside the 6-yard box. The referee should act well, has to stop play because it's a head injury. And that will allow treatment to be administered. I'm not sure there's too much in this, but sensible play from Ollie McBurney as Leicester were attacking. Watching a replay now. Maybe Justin coming at the far post just caught McBurney in the face. Well, that could have been a penalty, you know.
Oh, yeah.
John Egan grappling with Tillemans, and for me, he appears to drag him to the floor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does there. It's a little bit over-aggressive, a little bit soft from Tillemans, but, you know, modern day football, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
I wonder if David Coote at Stockley Park will be taking a second look at that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they review that, if they speak to the referee to have a look at that. But yeah, a little bit over-aggressive by Egan.
McBurney looks a bit dazed, just being patched up by the Sheffield United medical staff. The referee Atwell keeping a very beady eye on proceedings. And I'm watching a replay of the Sheffield United goal. Really good delivery from Lundstrom, and the header down and into the corner from McBurney.
I mean, it's interesting there, Alex, because there's no players on the post. You know, when I played, there was always set pieces, always put players on the post. You know, Mark Albrighton tried to get back, tried to recover, but if there'd been a player on the post there, he would have cleared the opportunity. But a really good header, and what he needed, because he needs to get up and running with some goals this season.
Well, the referee is just bouncing the ball down for Aaron Ramsdale, so presumably David Coote, the VAR, didn't see anything wrong with that piece of wrestling from Egan, and play will restart with Ramsdale launching the ball forward. McBurney plays it back into the centre circle, and Fleck, who's away from Mendy. Mendy just nicking it away from Fleck at the last moment, as I think he was about to pull the trigger from long range, and not a great clearance by Albrighton. Low with the ball drilled into the area, couldn't beat Johnny Evans, and here's Tillemans with the chance to attack, and he's been caught from behind by Lowe, and I think that will be the first booking of the afternoon. Stuart Atwell, who's dished out the most yellow cards in the Premier League this season, brandishing another. Max Lowe, the first booking of the afternoon. It's a cynical challenge, Dean.
Yeah, I think it's just a cynical challenge, like you say, a clever challenge to stop Leicester breaking. Did he need to do it? Potentially not. You know, he's on a yellow card now, so difficult for him for the rest of the afternoon, but he knew exactly what he was doing.
7 of Sheffield United's 9 defeats this season have been by a 1-goal margin. Plenty of 1-0s in there, really just showing that they have been in every game but have lacked that cutting edge. Burnley with a goal this afternoon, cancelling out an early opener from Jose Perez, relatively early in this first half. 1-1 the score with 6 minutes of the half remaining.
Well, it does just show, Alex, that they're close. You know, if they're losing by the odd goal. I remember when I was at Leicester, the first year we was in the Premier League, and we were losing games by 1-0 and staying in there. And we just held on to that belief that if we could tweak something, we could change something, that we could start winning games. And that's what Sheffield United need to keep believing, that they're still in games every match. If they can get a couple more goals, then they can pick up a few more wins.
And you were written off, weren't you, at one point as well, Leicester, that season?
We definitely were, and that's why they labelled it the Great Escape. I mean, we won 8 out of the last 10 games to stay up, so, you know, it was really against us. You know, Sheffield United are only 10 games in, so still a large part of the season left. So you just have to keep believing that they're good enough, and they are. They proved that last season. It's just, and that's why it's the hardest thing in football to do, is to score goals. And, you know, McBurney getting a goal today will really add to his confidence, and if he can get a few more, they're a decent side, Sheffield United. They really are.
Here is Fofana for Leicester. Tries to play the ball over the top for Perez, but it goes all the way through for Aaron Ramsdale. Very extrovert character, Aaron Ramsdale. Once attended a EFL playoff final, dressed as a Teletubby, watching a friend of his play for Tranmere Rovers.
I did not know that, did he now?
He's a great lad, actually. Here's Lundstrom playing it forward to Burke, right corner of the penalty area. Chance for Baldock to cross. He tries to play it behind Justin, who was aware of the danger, but Sheffield United still on the front foot here over on the far touchline with Lundstrom. Burke tries to roll it around the corner, intercepted by Mendy, and this is where Leicester can be dangerous because Sheffield United have committed plenty of bodies forward, and Mendy drives towards halfway. Albrighton with the ball forward. He spotted the runner Jamie Vardy. Ramsdale comes out and collects the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. With the right idea from Albrighton, not quite the right execution.
It really was, and the years that Mark and Jamie have been playing together, they will have that understanding, and Mark Albrighton does have that quality. It's great to see him back in the team, and just unfortunate that just overhit the pass, but they will be looking for that, because Jamie does have that pace and he's willing to run him behind, and Mark does possess that quality to find him.
Here's Lundstrom bringing the ball down neatly just inside Leicester territory. 4 minutes of the half remaining. 1-1 the score. Basham forward to McBurney. Those socks rolled down to the ankles. It's played out to the left-hand side now and low. A good game actually on this near touchline low, but a good attacking option for Sheffield United. Scooted the ball out to the left-hand side, and Bryan, and then comes infield. Bryan in the area. Good attack that from Leicester. Both felt he was fouled off the ball. Referee allows play to continue, and here's Perez finding Maddison, tries to nod it on first time for Vardy. Egan there first, and he volleys it clear right-footed. Goal for Leicester before half-time would really knock the stuffing out of Sheffield United. Here's Tillemans with an almost nonchalant ball out to the right, and Mark Albrighton. Albrighton to Fofana. This is Evans inside the centre circle. The former Manchester United defender been linked with a return actually to Old Trafford. Johnny Evans, I think his Leicester contract is up at the end of the season.
He's been brilliant, a brilliant signing for Leicester, he really has. And I can see why they would be interested in him, because of that experience, and there isn't that many experienced defenders around with his quality at the moment, especially on a free transfer.
Fofana forward to Perez. It could of course just be his agent putting the story out there to try and get a better deal. Here's Perez. Maddison's got space, edge of the area. Pass into him was poor, still alive. Perez across the face of goal. Ramsdale was a bit hesitant, and in the end Sheffield United managed to clear the danger. Justin coming at the far post, who just put the ball back into the 6-yard box, and Sheffield United a bit fortunate there to get it away. Here's Tillemans. Good end to the half from Leicester. Sheffield United having to defend well here. You can hear Chris Wilder urging his side forward, asking Max Lowe there to get a lot closer to Mark Albrighton, who's crossing from the right-hand side, punched away Superman style by Ramsdale. Then McBurney and Evans grappling for the ball, and Evans has done well to win it. Just on the right corner of the 18-yard box. He wanted Albrighton to make a run ahead of him. Comes infield instead for Maddison. Might switch the play out to the left-hand side, and Justin. And now it's played back to Tillemans inside the centre circle. Tillemans with the ball over the top for Albrighton. Good run from him, but the pass was slightly too far in front of Mark Albrighton. It's cleared away by Lowe. That's the ball that Leicester have been trying to play all afternoon, Dean, in behind the Sheffield United defence.
It really is, because Lowe has been attacking down the left-hand side for Sheffield United.
We could be in trouble here, Max Lowe, because he's just brought down Albrighton from behind. I think that's a yellow card. If he's not already been booked, I think the referee goes to his notepad.
100%. If he'd not had a booking, that would be another yellow card.
I mean, he makes no attempt to play the ball, Max Lowe. That's a really silly challenge.
Oh, it really
having
is.
Just been yellow carded, I think he should be off.
Yeah, he's a lucky boy. Really lucky. Silly challenge. I think that just shows the experience of a younger player coming through and building his career. But yeah, lucky there. You're right there, Alex. If he hadn't have been booked, 100% that would have been a yellow card.
Well, we're in Fred territory now, aren't we, from midweek? One more tackle from Lowe in the second half, and he will be off if he mistimes it. Here comes Maddison with a free kick into the last minute of the first half. Not a bad delivery, but headed away by Bryan. Still, they put the pressure on here. Leicester. Evans with his back to goal. Out to Justin, whose shot is bravely blocked by McBurney. It's been a real all-action performance from Ollie McBurney in this first half. Not just the goal. Really putting a shift in for his team. Sheffield United 30 seconds away plus stoppage time from going in at half-time on level terms. But Leicester really trying to turn the screw here at the end of the first 45. Fofana. Out to the right and Albrighton. Into Perez, who's got space to turn on the edge of the area. Finds Maddison. Albrighton hugging that right touchline. Tillemans now over the top for Vardy, but too close to Ramsdale. And we are in now to added on time at the end of the first 45 minutes, of which there will be 2 minutes. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Jose Perez putting Leicester in front, but Sheffield United almost straight from the restart, equalising courtesy of a header from McBurney. It's been a really watchable first half, actually, Dean Hammond.
It has. It's been a really, really good game. A really interesting game. Leicester have probably been a better team. Obviously had a lot more possession, but Sheffield United will be pretty happy. They've had a good shape. They've played on the counter-attack, and they've scored that goal that they've needed. And they just need to concentrate and see this half out now and go in at 1-1.
Here's Perez, though, trying to get Leicester back in front. Maddison in the area. Maddison shoots. He's hit the same post that Vardy struck. Ramsdale beaten all ends up. And for the second time in the game, Sheffield United saved by the woodwork. Here's Maddison again, up against Lowe, who can't dive in. Albrighton crosses, and he's turned behind by Sander Berg for a corner right at the end of the first half. So close, Leicester, there to getting themselves back in front. It was a great strike again from Maddison.
Oh, it was a great strike, and he's hit that so well. Good build-up play, very patient, good strike through the ball, and the post has saved Sheffield United again. And maybe they're just getting that stroke of luck that they've not had all season. And they can go in at half-time 1-1 and relax and rebuild and prepare for the second half.
Just watching it was a short corner they took. Maddison's gone down in the area. Sander Berg again was clumsy again, didn't get much of the ball from that tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe Maddison went to ground a bit easily for the referee's liking.
Yeah, maybe just a touch too easy. I don't think that's a penalty, but again, a little bit clumsy, a little bit too aggressive, especially in the box, and especially just before half-time. But yeah, just not quite enough in it there for me to give a penalty.
Well, VAR agrees with you, and there is the half-time whistle. Well, it looked ominous for Sheffield United, given their dreadful start to the season when Jose Perez volleyed Leicester in front on 24 minutes, but only 3 minutes later, Ollie McBurney with a header from a corner, his first goal in 15 matches. Leicester have twice been denied by the woodwork. That Sheffield United goal leading a charmed life at times, but at half-time at Bramall Lane, it is Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Impress lost tribespeople of the Andes by demonstrating the new updated Talk Sport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at talksport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, texts, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to talksport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new Talk Sport swimming pool. Golf! No running there, boy. But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action. Weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Gunn, a sporting legend and angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double strength drive time radio.
Shall I stay? I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, who hands up who wants me to stay?
Drive time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on Talk Sport. Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs on Sport. Talk Sport. It's the double-O duo, the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksby and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of the horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got pussy galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksby and Jacobs, shaken but not stirred. Weekday afternoons from 1 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Confuse bookmakers, impress football agents and entertain the kids. With the improved Talk Sport app. Totally fun, totally free, totally football. Download it now from talksport.com. Hey, kids, take my mobile and go over there and press something. Don't press the button that says Tinder. Talk Sport.
Welcome back to Premier League Live, where the second of our 4 matches on this Sunday afternoon has reached the midway point, and honours even between Sheffield United and Leicester City. Justin, who crosses, might be brought down by Albrighton here, left-footed volley, Perez on the follow-up, and Jose Perez rifles Leicester City in front, and Jose Perez, a surprise name in many Leicester fans' eyes on the team sheet this afternoon, repays the faith of Brendan Rodgers.
That's how it happens in Premier League football. You know, the other end, Oliver Burke gets an opportunity, doesn't take it, Leicester get an opportunity, and Perez does.
Lundstrom with the corner, and it's headed in, and they are back in the game, and Ollie McBurney has ended his 15-match goal drought, slides on his knees in celebration. Sheffield United, having conceded the opening goal to Jose Perez, hit back almost immediately.
Excellent header, and Ollie McBurney will need that. You know, the record signing, the strikers need to judged on scoring goals, but a really good header and a great reaction by Sheffield United.
It is Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Yeah, really watchable first half. Sheffield United showing their powers of recovery. Leicester City once again showing their vulnerability from set pieces. 7 goals Dean Ham and Leicester have conceded from corners this season. How, as a manager, do you start to legislate for that?
Well, it's really surprising when you say that. I mentioned in the first half that they maybe missed that dominant presence in the box to attack the ball and be demanding and commanding. But yeah, that's just players taking responsibility, I think, knowing that your man, whoever you're marking, you're not going to let them score, and working on in training and being disciplined with your job that you're assigned to do. So they'll be disappointed with that, because if they could have eradicated them goals during the season, they'll be a lot higher up in the league.
Ollie McBurney scoring his first Premier League goal of the season with what was his 20th shot. The player with the most shots attempted without scoring this season is Trezeguet at Aston Villa, who's had 22 attempts without finding the back of the net. How much of a relief will it be for Ollie McBurney, and can he now go on a bit of a scoring spree?
Well, hopefully, and it'll be huge relief, because strikers are judged on the amount of goals they get, and he's had an all-action first half. Defensive headers, blocks in his own box, and then scoring to get the equaliser, and Sheffield United reacting really well will be a relief for him, and hopefully he will build that confidence now, because he's a good player, and like you've mentioned there, he's had opportunities this season, and if he can grow that confidence and belief in himself and that trust in himself, then he can go on and get a few more goals, and that will really benefit Sheffield United.
I said at the end of my commentary there in the first half that Sheffield United's goal has led a bit of a charmed life at times. Jamie Vardy rifling a shot against the post early on, Maddison hitting the same post late in that first half. How important is it for Sheffield United to make the most of those breaks and go on now and get something from this game in the second 45?
Yeah, they have to, and hopefully for them that's their luck changing, because Leicester usually will take them opportunities, especially when it falls to Jamie Vardy or Maddison, because they're such high quality players. But they've not scored them opportunities, and hopefully Sheffield United now have got that change in fortune, and they can, if they get an opportunity other than, they need to take it and they need to score, because they're not going to get many this afternoon. But yeah, hopefully it will change for them, and they can maybe go on and get a result today, because Leicester are a top team, and if they keep creating chances like that, eventually they will score.
Well, let's have a look at some of the tweets that have been coming in during that first half. Obadiah says, really enjoying listening to you guys from Port Harcourt with Sammy and the wise men. He tipped Vardy to score next. I don't like the current position of Sheffield United, says Chris. They were impressive last season. Chris Wilder has to find a way to start winning games. He's also listening over in Nigeria. DJ Keefe says, listening while fishing on South Beach. Hopefully more goals in this match and an Arsenal win later. And yes, like always, I want more punch-ups in matches these days. But I'm sure that North London derby, particularly with 2,000 Tottenham fans in attendance, will be a feisty affair. Chris is watching in Orlando, Florida, a proud member of the Goalkeepers Union. He says, gutted neither will keep a clean sheet today, up the Reds. Bernard says, Vardy to score the winner. Sheffield United are relegation candidates. Jerome loves listening to the commentary, hoping for a Sheffield win. Don't know what's wrong with Sheffield. They should have brought a Premier League proven striker rather than Brewster. He also says that we should visit Ghana one of these days. Crazy about football. We'd like to visit anywhere at this moment in time, I have to tell you. At TalkSport Live is the Twitter address. I mean, he mentioned Ryan Brewster there. If you look down at the two benches, certainly he will be an option to come on for Sheffield United. They've got David McGoldrick as well in terms of an attacking threat for Leicester. Harvey Barnes, I know you expected to start today. Kelechi Iheanacho, Kengizunda, who's had a bit of an impact from the bench as well. So plenty of options for both managers.
There really is, and both managers will definitely looking to win the game. So them attacking options on the bench to come on and have an impact on the game and affect the game will be really important. And there's some good players there that probably would be expected to be in the starting 11. And that's why both these teams are good teams. I know Sheffield United are bottom of the league, but they're a good team because they do have attacking options, that players that can score, and it's just that confidence and that belief. So I believe, and I said before the show, there'll be more goals this afternoon.
I suppose that the quandary for Chris Wilder is that a point at home against Leicester under normal circumstances, especially having fallen behind, will be a good result. But when you've only picked up 1 point from 10 matches, you really need to start turning those draws into wins, don't you?
You definitely do, and he'll see this as an opportunity to win today. They've rode their luck first half a little bit, but yeah, normally Leicester coming to Sheffield United, a draw would be an excellent result. But Chris will be wanting to win games. He's a winner himself. We mentioned about his managerial record, never being relegated. He's had a lot of promotions in that managerial record as well. He's a legend of Sheffield United with the job he's done, so he's used to winning games. So I don't think it is his make-up to think, a draw will be good enough. He's got them attacking options on the bench. He's got attacking players on the pitch. He'll be definitely trying to get 3 points today.
And as for Leicester, they've lost 3 of their last 4 matches against teams sat in the relegation places. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers will be desperate to avoid adding to that tally this afternoon. In the second half, remember, a win for Leicester would take them level on points with the likes of Liverpool and Tottenham back into the top 4. Sheffield United need a victory to reduce the gap between them and the survival places. That's why this second half is going to be absolutely massive for both teams. Half-time at Bramwell Lane, really hard-fought encounter to this point. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Perez with the opener for Leicester, cancelled out soon afterwards by Ollie McBurney. The second half is on the way very shortly. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Evenings with James Whale on Talk Radio.
Keep connected with round-the-clock news, essential information and expert insight.
I think we've got to be very careful about the way this has all been going on.
Cutting through the confusion with everything you need to stay safe, informed and entertained.
Everyone's going on about, we should be tracking and testing, and I just don't know how that is going to happen. Evenings with James Whale, weeknights from 7 on Talk Radio.
In a world of 24/7 global sportscasting and instant news infotainment, one man bestrides the airwaves like a snow-capped Caledonian colossus.
Hello, I'm Jim White.
Jim White, anchorman.
Mid-morning news team, assemble.
Jim White and Natalie Sawyer, the #1 rated news source for breaking sports stories, big-name guests, and liquid showbiz charisma.
Great Odin's Ravens. That's quite a transfer.
There's nothing burgundy about Jim White. Tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport.
In the spring of the year 2020 AD, a deadly enemy rages like a torrent of fire between the ends of empire.
My name is Maximus Sportus Pandemicus, gladiator of the sports radio. Gird up your loins and battle the invasion of COVID-19, because what you do today will echo in eternity.
TalkSport Legion, assume tortoise formation against COVID-19.
Show this virus no mercy by keeping a distance of at least 2 meters at all times. That's 6.75 Roman feet centurions. Together, Legion, Talk Sportus can defeat it.
Talk Sportus Maximus.
On my signal, unleash hand sanitizer.
Keep it on, stay informed, and give coronavirus the red cardus.
Are you not hand sanitized?
20 years of Talk Sport.
Gentlemen, good evening.
There's no such thing as an overnight success.
Accrington Stanley 4, titanium plasmatronic death droids from the future, 0.
Excess.
Wasn't getting up, I was just getting in.
Excitement.
Excuse me,
And extremely strong opinions.
I spent my life covering the big games at the big level.
On DAB, medium wave, and on your smart speaker. 20 years of Talk Sport.
For all the latest news, opinions and advice, listen to Talk Radio throughout the day and stay informed as events unfold.
We're now in a position to start implementing the next parts of our plan.
Find out what's happening now and what may happen next, all day, every day.
If the government gets to grips with the plan, then surely we will be able to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Listen now on DAB Digital Radio, online, via the Talk Radio app, or ask your smart speaker to play Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to our coverage of Sheffield United against Leicester from Bramall Lane. I'm your commentator, Alex Crook. Alongside me is the former Leicester, Sheffield United, Brighton and Southampton midfielder, Dean Hammond. You are listening to Premier League Live, and an early change at the start of this second half for Sheffield United. Dean, Ben Osborne is going to come on. You wonder if that potentially could be for Max Lowe, having escaped a red card, and indeed that is the change that is being made.
Yeah, I think that's a sensible decision. I think Max Lowe would have been on his last warning. One more tackle and he would have definitely got sent off. So a good decision by Sheffield United and Chris Wilder. And Osborne is a very good player as well, a good attacking left-sided player, so he'll come on and do a very good job.
The only alteration from either side, Sheffield United with Ramsdale in goal, Basham, Egan and Bryan in the back three, Baldock and now Osborne the wing-backs, Lundstrom, Berg and Fleck make up midfield with McBurney their goal scorer. Alongside Oliver Burke in attack is Sheffield United in the red and white jerseys, shooting from left to right in this second half, who get us back underway, but immediately they've given it away to Leicester. And here is Jose Perez on the edge of the area trying to play it forward for Maddison, who looks to the heavens in frustration that the pass didn't find him. Leicester have Schmeichel in goal, Fofana, Evans and Fuchs in defence, Albrighton and James Just in the wing-backs, with Tillemans and Mendy in midfield, Perez and Maddison supporting Jamie Vardy, looking to add to his 10 goals so far this season up front. And would you expect, Dean, the second half to follow the same pattern as the first? Leicester dominating possession, Sheffield United trying to hit on the counter with the likes of Burke running forward here?
Yeah, definitely. Sheffield United would have more possession of the ball.
Lundstrom tries to cut it back and it's guided clear by Evans.
Yeah, Leicester will have more possession of the ball, and Sheffield United will keep that disciplined, solid shape and try and play on the counter-attack. And whenever Sheffield United do attack, there will be opportunities for Leicester as well on the counter with Jamie Vardy's pace. So I'm pretty sure it will pan out as the first half, which was a very entertaining encounter.
We should have team news from the North London derby in the next 10 minutes or so. Arsenal making a short trip across North London to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tim Long and Kevin Watson will be your commentary team for that one. Tottenham in excellent form at the start of this season. Arsenal clearly not. You never know, it is a derby. And then at 7:15, I think this is going to be a really entertaining game. Liverpool against Wolves at Anfield. Wolves, of course, without Raul Jimenez after that sickening head injury in their last game, and Diego Jota banging form against his former club. You just know what the narrative could be there. Find out later on this busy Sunday. And then tomorrow we've got part two of the Dean Hammond derby, Brighton against Southampton at the Amex, 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. I'll be there along with 2,000 Brighton fans. I have to say, I was at a League One game yesterday, Portsmouth against Peterborough. Only 2,000 fans back at Fratton Park, but it was so nice just to get that natural atmosphere as the ball hit the back of the net from those spectators.
I bet it was, and it's brilliant to have the fans back because they're the heartbeat of football. It makes football the emotion that it is. So the more they can get back in a healthy manner, and a safe manner, that would be brilliant.
Corner kick here for Leicester. Albrighton's attempted cross blocked behind by Keane Bryan. And having conceded from a set piece in the first half, Leicester looking to give Sheffield United a dose of their own medicine early in the second. 1-1 is the score. For those of you just joining us early today, it finished West Brom 1, Crystal Palace 5. Pereira sent off for the Baggies in the first half, made it a difficult afternoon for Slaven Bilic's team. Here's Maddison with the corner. Fofana up to attack it. McBurney heads it clear, and then it's guided expertly by Albrighton. Back out to Maddison. Maddison with a stooping cross in, headed away. Albrighton's going to keep it alive here though, and he's going to drill the ball into the gloves of Aaron Ramsdale at his near post. 1-1 the score.
Ollie McBurney, I mean, two great headers again. He's a bit of a magnet today in both boxes, so good defensive work from him. A good start by Leicester on the front foot again, like we predicted, and they'll be looking to get that goal because they'll see this as a game that they really would like to and feel as though they should win.
Yeah, they need it after that defeat against Fulham. Their away record has been mightily impressive this season. 12 of their 18 points coming on the road. To the King Power when teams have sat deep and limited the space in behind for Jamie Vardy where they have struggled. Of course, amongst those away wins, that 5-2 success at Manchester City.
Yeah, a great result. It just shows, like we mentioned in the first half, that Leicester can beat anyone in this division. They're a top team, they really are. It's just whether they can do this on a consistent basis, especially with European football this season.
Papi Mendy has just rolled the ball along the halfway line to the imposing figure of Fofana. Johnny Evans, the Northern Ireland international, back to Fuchs, whose ball forward is charged down by Lundstrom, and then Fuchs had to get there ahead of McBurney. Looks a bit bedraggled. Christian Fuchs entering the veteran stage of his career now. I remember reading that he wouldn't mind being an NFL quarterback when he retires from football.
Well, he's got a lovely stride, and I think, if I remember rightly, I think his wife actually lives in America, so there's a possibility. But yeah, coming to the twilight of his career, I remember those days where you're stiff, you ache a little bit more than you did when you're younger, but a great servant for the football club, and a brilliant guy as well, really, really nice guy.
Not too many survivors are there from that amazing title win. I mentioned Albrighton, one of them. Vardy, of course. Wes Morgan on the bench this afternoon, and Fuchs himself.
I mean, a brilliant achievement when they won the league. Like we say, would never be repeated again, and just a fantastic season. And in the manner they done it as well, with scoring all them goals, exciting football, was fantastic.
Did you leave the previous summer?
No, I didn't actually. I was actually on loan at Sheffield United, so I started the season on the bench, and then Kante come in. We had Andy King, Danny Drinkwater, so competition places was tough. So
here's Justin. Maisie ran into the penalty area, trying to lay it into the feet of Vardy. It's cleared as far as Perez, who brings it down on the chest just inside the D. Here's Mendy now. Midway inside the Sheffield United half, fizzes a pass into Maddison, who finds Perez. And Perez has got away from Egan and from Basham. Forced wide in the end by John Egan. So plays it back to the pint-sized Mendy. Good start to the second half from Leicester, but Sheffield United at the moment defending well. For all their lack of wins this season, apart from the game at Stamford Bridge where they conceded 4, they don't tend to concede many goals, Sheffield United.
No, they don't, and I think it's because of the shape they play, the discipline they play with, the honest players that they have, and the work rate they play at. They've just this season, unfortunately for some reason, just lacked that extra bit of quality in the final third to be able to convert them chances that they're creating. So I honestly believe they're a decent side, they're a good team, and they're not in a false position because they haven't won games and they haven't scored goals, but they're a better team than potentially they're showing, and I think they've got a brilliant chance of staying up.
Chris Wilder, certainly a manager who wears his heart on his sleeve, will, I think, be pleased with the effort and endeavour of his team so far over these opening 53 minutes. 1-1 the score. Perez putting Leicester in front. McBurney with a header cancelling that out. McBurney's just conceded a foul. Just leaning with the elbows, he challenged Fuchs in the air. And it's a free kick for Leicester on the edge of their penalty area. I don't think McBurney can have too many complaints.
No, a little bit unintentional. He had his eyes on the ball, but yeah, just a little bit over-aggressive, and Christian's taken one in the face there. But no, you want to see that competitive side from Ollie McBurney. That's part of his game. Competes well, likes the aerial challenge, and it looks like after scoring his goal, he's up for this game today.
14 away goals now for Leicester this season. Only Manchester United, who hit 3 in the second half at West Ham yesterday, have got more. They did have chances to go in at half-time with the lead. Vardy and Maddison both denied by the post. Here is Justin coming forward down the left again. Baldock does well, slides in. Will be cleared from the right-back position by John Egan. Now back 5 for Sheffield United, so interchangeable. Mendy's done well to win it back from McBurney. Here's Tillemans. Tillemans back into the Leicester half and Fuchs, and now Johnny Evans takes over. It's back with Fuchs in the left-back position for Leicester, attacking the goal away to our left in this second half, the blue-shirted Foxes. Fofana under pressure from Burke, has to play it back to Evans, back towards his own 18-yard box. Now Fofana is going to go more direct, but it's too far in front of Vardy. Perez will try and keep it alive and put the pressure on Ramsdale, who clears right-footed. And it's plucked down by Fleck. Volleyed back towards the Sheffield United penalty area by Evans, and Baldock clears it away. Lundstrom forced back towards his own goal by Justin, so back it goes to Baldock, and now Ramsdale again, who sliced the clearance, and it's going to be a throw-in for Leicester, who were pressing well there.
Yeah, it is, and it's great to see, but both teams working really hard. The players are looking to press, trying to win the ball back as early as they can. So really good to see. Hard working, honest players, with Leicester with that extra bit of quality that they possess.
55 gone though, 1-1 the score. Here is Fofana with the bleached blonde hair. Little drop of the shoulder to get away from Burke. Tielemans goes back to Evans. I wonder if he might gamble at some stage, Brendan Rodgers, and maybe take off one of those two defensive midfielders, Mendy and Tielemans. Obviously much more to Tielemans' game than that, but he's playing very deep this afternoon.
Yeah, that's usually the change. Harvey Barnes coming on, or Under, who's made an impact, or Pratt can come on and play in that position. But if they're looking to win the game, I'm sure that will be the change.
Ball played forward by Sheffield United to Oliver Burke, can't make it stick, and then Tielemans has gone long. It's a good ball for Jamie Vardy, but it just bounces off his chest harmlessly. It may even have rolled forward for Maddison, and here comes Sheffield United now. Fleck trying to slide it forward to Burke, Evans across, and then Schmeichel sliding in, collects. I mean, apart from the goal from McBurney, Kasper Schmeichel hasn't had too much to do.
No, he really hasn't. He hasn't. Leicester have been well on top. Had a lot of the ball, a lot of possession, and played in Sheffield United's hard because they're retreating. As soon as they lose the ball, you can see now, Ollie McBurney's back in his own half. Burke's only staying up to be that outlet for Sheffield United. So Kasper's not had a lot to do today, so we have to keep his concentration when he's called upon.
Here's Johnny Evans, 10 yards inside the Leicester half, forward to Perez, who has to siphon it back to Tielemans inside that centre circle, and now Fuchs urged to come forward over halfway. Always comfortable coming forward as a left back by trade. Here's Maddison, but a space down the right hand side. Albrighton's low cross is easily dealt with by Bryan, and then chip forward for Burke again. Very isolated though, Oliver Burke, and he's done well there to find Osborne under pressure from Fofana. And here's McBurney. Well, Fuchs was asking for offside. The flag stays down. It's Lundstrom who can't quite get there ahead of the sliding Justin. Good challenge to concede the corner in the end.
It really was, and that was excellent play, and it all come from Oliver Burke's hold-up play. And then Osborne, who's come on, breaks, and then Oliver Burney getting behind, and then Lundstrom supporting from midfield. So that's what Sheffield United will be looking to do, soak up that pressure and then attack with pace and purpose like they just did then.
It's another corner that Leicester are going to have to try and defend here. It's a fourth corner of the game for Sheffield United. It's a deep one aimed in towards McBurney. Fuchs does well to head it clear. Picked up now down the right hand side by Basham, grappling with Johnny Evans. Just about managed to smuggle the ball into the feet of Sander Berg. Here now is Egan. Best spell of the second half from Sheffield United. Lundstrom angles the pass in towards McBurney. Johnny Evans there ahead of Basham, but Basham manages to find Baldock, whose cross is blocked by Fuchs. Will be a throw in. Baldock takes quickly, level with the 18-yard line. Sander Berg away from Maddison. Here's Baldock now running at a tired looking Fuchs. Then knocked over the top by Burke. Maddison with a volley away. Really for the first time since half-time, Leicester penned back inside their own half.
Yeah, real good bit of pressure from Sheffield United, passing the ball back with confidence and at pace. But Leicester defending well. But Sheffield United looking a lot more confident now.
Here's Lundstrom, crossing from the right-hand side, away by Evans. Then Maddison plays a neat ball into Tielemans. They could break here. Tielemans has been clattered, and that's going to almost certainly be a booking for Fleck. Referee looked to play the advantage and then realised there wasn't one, so it's going to be a free kick for Leicester. As I have been presented with a copy of the team sheet from the North London derby. The big news for Tottenham is that Harry Kane and Toby Alderweireld both fit to start, both having missed out in Europe in midweek. Serge Aurier getting the nod at right back. So it's going to be Lloris in goal. Back four of Aurier, Alderweireld, Dyer and Reguilon. Højbjerg will sit in midfield alongside Sissoko. And then you've got Steven Bergwijn, Giovanni Lo Celso and Son in behind Harry Kane. Lacazette and Aubameyang both start for Arsenal. Leno is the goalkeeper. Bellerin, Gabriel, Holding and Tierney in defence for them. Then come the likes of Xhaka, Saka, so it could even be wing-backs actually, Willian, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Thomas Partey plays as well, so that's a bonus for Arsenal. That game gets underway at 4:30 UK time with Tim Long and Kevin Watson. Tottenham looking to maintain their place at the top of the Premier League table. Hour gone here at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Fascinating contest between two teams at opposite end of the scales, really. Leicester going to get back into the top four. Sheffield United just looking for some kind of foothold to get their season off and running belatedly. Here's Perez, scorer of the Foxes' goal in the first half. Tielemans now out to the right-hand side. Albrighton, who's seen plenty of the ball, can't find Perez, but he does win a throw. That throw-in will be taken down the right-hand side by Albrighton. Fuchs now inside the centre circle. Bit of space for Justin, the former Luton man, down this near touchline. Johnny Evans drills a pass out to the right, and Albrighton tries to poke it into Jose Perez. Perez wrestling it back from Keane Bryan. Here now is Papi Mendy for Leicester. Seem to have seen off that spell of Sheffield United pressure and look pretty comfortable again now, Leicester, but 1-1 still the score. So a big final half an hour to come here. Sheffield United with everybody back inside their own half, making it very difficult for Leicester to find any space. Here's Mendy, just dropping back to the left-back position, playing it back into the Leicester half where Fuchs has managed to find Maddison inside the centre circle. Good footwork for him to get away from Sander Berg, and Vardy tries to give it back to Maddison, blocked by Fleck. Tielemans though, there's a low ball out to the right and Albrighton, who's going to take on Osborne, the half-time substitute. Mendy now for Leicester. Sheffield United holding firm at the moment, and Leicester again are forced to go back to Evans this time on the edge of the centre circle. Here's Mendy, forward to Perez. Just got a bit impatient there, Papi Mendy, but they've won it back again. Tielemans, the number 8. White numbering on the back of his blue Leicester jersey. Here now is Maddison, going to scoop it forward for Jamie Vardy, who's seen very little of the ball in this second half, and Sheffield United have got it back now with Lundstrom down the right. John Lundstrom away from Justin, but he's been upended by Christian Fuchs in no uncertain terms. That's going to be a first Leicester City booking in the afternoon, and that might give Brendan Rodgers a decision to make.
Well, that was brilliant by Sheffield United. They kept their shape, really disciplined, moved across the pitch, forcing Leicester to play sidewards, play backwards, trying to force a pass, which happened with James Maddison trying to put Jamie Vardy in when it really wasn't on, and then broke with pace in Lundstrom and won a free kick, and now Leicester have to defend a set piece again, which we know is their weakness.
Sheffield United are making a change here. John Lundstrom is making way. It's their second change of the afternoon. Just seemed to be hobbling slightly. John Lundstrom as he went off. It's Ollie Norwood, isn't it, who's come on?
Yeah, Ollie Norwood, a really, really good player, experienced player, so he'll slot into that midfield position and be very, very commanding.
His first job is to take the free kick, and he's put it straight into the gloves of Kasper Schmeichel. Maybe an example of a player not quite fully warmed up. And I'll tell you what, Leicester have got a lot of blue shirts forward in this attack. Tielemans, it's a dreadful touch, concedes possession on halfway, and now Sheffield United can come forward on the counter with Sander Berg, who just had a hurdle the challenge from Fuchs. Norwood with a chance to cross from the right hand side. Diving header away by Evans, but it's going to be a Sheffield United throw, and once again the pendulum seems to be swinging back towards Sheffield United now. It's been a game of regular momentum swings.
Yeah, Christian had to be very lucky there, sliding in. Potentially could have given a penalty away, and he's just been booked as well. So yeah, it's an interesting game now. It's because it's opening up. The game's coming a little as the players get a little bit more tired, especially Sheffield United players, because they've worked so hard this afternoon.
Here's Baldock. Sheffield United still very much in this game. Cross into the area from Basham, and McBurney flung himself with the ball. It was headed behind via Leicester City players. They've got another corner here. They're fifth of the game.
Yeah, good play. Looking like they're trying to really win this game, Sheffield United. Have grown in belief. Another set piece again for Leicester to defend. And, you know, they've been very good from Sheffield United this afternoon.
John Fleck, the former Rangers player, is going to take the corner. McBurney looking to make a late run. Big man forward from the back as well. Fleck with a left-footed delivery. There is McBurney. He's headed onto the roof of the net. And again, Leicester finding it difficult to defend these set pieces, but this time McBurney couldn't keep it down.
It is, and if you watch the replay, it's not great movement from Oliver Burney, really. It's a good header, you know, just goes over, but you'd be asking questions of the Leicester defence there. It's a good delivery by John Fleck, but potentially could have done better with a header, but should not be getting a free header in the middle of the box.
And you can almost see the panic on Kasper Schmeichel's face whenever a cross is put into that Leicester penalty area.
Yeah, you really can, and it's interesting because it's work that would be worked on the training ground. It would have been discussed because of the record, and they've conceded goal from set pieces, and they would have known that Sheffield United are strong from it. So it's interesting, a player's not taking that individual responsibility of staying with their man, because there's no real blocks going on, there's no amazing movement from Sheffield United. So yeah, really confusing.
Here's Fuchs being closed down there by Burke. Plays it against Burke in the end and wins a throw-in for Leicester. Christian Fuchs. Sheffield United 12 points down on where they were at this stage last season. It's a remarkable return to the top flight, really. As Leicester win a free kick, a foul conceded by Baldock on this right-hand side. Just apologising to the referee, Stuart Atwell. Just slightly late on Justin.
Yeah.
Sent him tumbling to the ground.
I think, like you mentioned there, Alex, I think because of how well Sheffield United performed last season, there's that little bit of expectation. You know, if they'd not performed so well, if they'd not finished in the top 10 and they were in this position, it'd be expected. So there could be a little bit of weight on their shoulders. And we mentioned as well, I think they're one of the clubs that really do miss their home fans. Now, there's an atmosphere that can be built at Bramall Lane that can really encourage the players. So they'll be eager for them fans to get back into that stadium to help them in this difficult situation.
Sometimes expectation can be a manager's own worst enemy, can't it?
It really can, yeah.
Here's Fuchs with the left-footed free kick. That should be too close to Ramsdale, who dropped it. Tillemans with a volley onto the roof of the net via a deflection. That wasn't great goalkeeping from Aaron Ramsdale. Did he get a whack in the face for his trouble, Ramsdale? I'm watching a replay. Claims he was caught by Fofana. He was in no man's land, really.
Yeah, just poor handling, really, but a really good reaction, actually. Getting a single hand to it, very, very brave, and I think he's just hit his head on the surface there as a follow-through, but might have injured himself. So, you know, he needs to concentrate because he's not had a lot to do in the last 10 minutes, but a good reaction there from Ramsdale.
Just watching him this season, Aaron Ramsdale, because I thought he had a really good chance of gate-crashing the European Championship squad, having seen him perform so well in a struggling Bournemouth team last season. I almost feel like he's trying to do too much to justify himself as the successor to Dean Henderson. He knows the team are struggling for clean sheets, and he comes for crosses that maybe under normal circumstances he wouldn't. Does that make sense?
It really does, and he'll feel, you know, we just talked about the team having expectation. He'll feel that expectation on him because they paid a good fee for him from Dean Henderson's performances in the last two seasons. it's hard to feel that, and he'll definitely feel that. But he's a good goalkeeper. He was there when I was there as a youngster and came through the youth system and went away to Bournemouth, done particularly well, and he's come back to the club. So he'll want to do really well, and he'll probably be feeling that pressure now, especially with the amount of goals they've conceded and where they are in the league.
Now, Wilfred Ndidi is coming on for Leicester to replace Papi Mendy, and Kelechi Iheanacho also is about to be brought on by Brendan Rodgers, so a double change from the Foxes, and Jose Perez, having scored the goal to give Leicester the lead on 24 minutes, counted out by Ollie McBurney 3 minutes later, is going off. No goals in his last 8 Premier League games for Kelechi Iheanacho. Try and get on the end of this Maddison corner. It's a good ball in towards Fofana, but McBurney was just a bit hungrier. Wins the header clear. Sheffield United bellowing for handball, as you can probably hear, but the referee not impressed by that. And in comes the cross from Fuchs. Vardy helps it on. Fofana had stayed forward. Again, it's stabbed away. Sheffield United have defended really well over these 70 minutes. As Justin goes all the way back for Schmeichel, their goalkeeper, the son of the great Peter Schmeichel, of course, the Leicester captain. He plays it out to the left-hand side to Fuchs. I don't think he was too impressed there with Schmeichel by the lack of movement in front of him. Here is Johnny Evans just on the edge of the Leicester area, out to Fofana. Evans now plays it out to Fuchs. Leicester still with this 3-man defensive line. Sheffield United still working tirelessly to hold on to this precious point. Points have been hard to come by for the men in red and white this season. Here is Ndidi. Leicester do look so much of a better team when he's in it, Dean Hammond, Ndidi.
Yeah, they've missed him. He's a brilliant player. He's a top-class player in the way he wins the ball back, plays with that energy, and he's actually better on the ball than people give him credit for, so he's been a real miss.
It's a misplaced clearance by Ramsdale, picked up by Albrighton. Crosses, looking for Vardy at the near post. Brave header by Basham, and then Iheanacho completely made a mess of trying to keep the ball in play. It's going to be a goal kick.
I think he was just eager there. I think he saw an opportunity to get the ball back in the box for Jamie Vardy. But again, you see the quality from Mark Albrighton. His delivery is excellent, and half a chance there for Leicester.
Yeah, it was a good header away by Basham, and then Iheanacho kicked it against his own face behind for a goal kick.
It looked like me when I used to be in the attacking box there.
You didn't cost 25 million.
No, I definitely didn't.
18 minutes to go. Nervous 18 minutes for Chris Wilder. He knows that a point will be a massive confidence boost for his team. But he also knows that Leicester have got attacking quality out there and will keep going right until the end. Bulldog brings the ball down on the edge of the centre circle, plays it out to the right, and Sander Berg, who's been relatively quiet actually, the Norwegian by his standards.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's still settling into how Sheffield United play, and he's settling into English football. But good investment, because he's a young lad, and you can see he has got quality. He's been quiet, but in patches he's actually been very, very effective.
I think with the likes of Arsenal over the last few weeks, Sander Berg. Here is Maddison over the halfway line for Leicester. Some good ball out to the left, and Vardy, it's just not been his afternoon, Jamie Vardy. Couldn't get that one out from under his studs. It's been frustrating for the former England man.
Yeah, it has, and he's been doing a lot of unselfish work. You know, the runs in behind that potentially he's not got the ball. He's worked hard, but yeah, he's had that one opportunity where he'd be frustrated where he hit the post, but you know, he's not been involved as much as he'd wished. But he's still a threat. You know, Jamie's, even though he's getting older, he's still quick, he's still strong, and he's still fit, so he'll go right to the 90th minute.
Sheffield United looking to end a run of 5 successive defeats, and 1-1 draw here against Fulham. They are 17 minutes away from doing so. 1-1 the score. Here's Osborne out the left-hand side. Fleck faked across and then plays in Bryan, who does loft one into the penalty area, but it's going to be cleared away by Justin in the left-back position. Fuchs with a final clearance, chested down by Basham, who loves to get forward from the back. Headed cleared by Fuchs, but only as far as Norwood, and then indeed he stoops and wins it back for Leicester, who could break here with Maddison. Tripped by Norwood, free kick. And Norwood's kicked the ball away. In fact, the referee is saying the ball was moving, and it's going to be a free kick for Leicester despite the protest from James Maddison. Hasn't had quite the impact this season, Maddison, that he did last.
Yeah, he's been a bit in and out. I know he's had some injuries and his form's been up and down, but he's a quality player. You know, really, really is, and I'd love to see him get a regular run in the England team because he does possess that extra little bit of creativity that every team needs. So the more Leicester can get on the ball, the better.
A lot of competition now, isn't there, for those midfield places for England?
Yeah, there really is.
Here is Ollie McBurney for Sheffield United. He's spotted the runner Fleck out the corner of his eye. Fleck's natural instinct was to come backwards, but they're still on the attack here. Deep cross from Fleck, plucked from the sky by Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, unfortunate there because I think the two strikers wanted the ball in the box a little bit earlier. They wanted that cross in when they could attack the ball.
Good ball by Iheanacho to Vardy. Ramsdale comes and heads it clear. It's a really good piece of goalkeeping.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That's one of those instances where he did have to come out and commit. Ramsdale, he did it well.
Great decision, really, on his toes, sweet up behind, and stopped a chance there for Jamie Vardy. So Ramsdale there, really, really good decision. Comes out, powerful header, nice and aggressive, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper.
I think it could be a problem for Brendan Rodgers. The reason that Sheffield United have done so well today is because they've stopped that supply, that ball over the top for Jamie Vardy. Fulham did it as well on Monday. I think Rodgers might just have to come out with a bit of a plan B. Teams may have worked them out.
Yeah, it is a problem because teams are very aware of it, and that's why, we spoke about it, that's why I like Harvey Barnes playing, because if he gets the ball to his feet, he commits players, he takes players on, a bit like Riyad Mahrez used to do for Leicester.
Here's Maddison into Iheanacho. Can he get the shot off? Iheanacho, good piece of defending. I think he really should have cut it back into the 6-yard box, Iheanacho, but he went for goal, and it was Brian who got back there to make the block tackle and concede a corner.
Yeah, he just wanted to get that back on his left foot, his stronger left foot, but a good pass by James Maddison again, and he has shown, he's got good movement as a striker, and selfish in them instances. Strikers need to be selfish, but he desperately wanted to get that back on his left foot, and that's probably what saved Sheffield United.
Maddison with a corner, 5-5 on the corner count. Does have good quality from these set pieces. Fuchs and Fofana are forward. Didn't beat the first man, Norwood, and he punches the air in frustration. Maddison is going to be a throw-in for Leicester over on that right-hand side. Albrighton just taking a fresh ball from a cone around the perimeter of the playing surface. Can't get the cross in though, blocked this time by Fleck. As we move into the final 13 minutes. Sheffield United 1, Leicester 1. Leicester once again struggling against one of the lesser lights in the Premier League. Here's Fofana. Infield for Christian Fuchs, who stayed forward. And Didi scoops it out to the right-hand side. Tillemans chests it down. Fofana back to the halfway line. He goes to Johnny Evans inside the centre circle. And Fofana fizzes a pass into Iheanacho. Does well to control it actually under pressure. Finds Tillemans. Here is Ndidi. Fuchs up in support, and he shoots Fuchs over the crossbar. He's not renowned for his goal scoring, and that one was always rising.
Yeah, it certainly was, but Christian's got very, very good technique. He can strike a ball, and you could see as soon as he received that ball there, he wanted to get a strike away, but potentially could have gone wide and could have got a ball in the box. But I think that's probably some tired leg there from Christian.
3.5 years since he scored in the Premier League. Christian
Is it really?
Fuchs.
Wow.
And he's frustrated and annoyed with himself that he blazed that one over the bar as Sheffield United prepared to bring on Rian Brewster, their club record signing. That will be the final change of the afternoon from Chris Wilder. Brendan Rodgers still has one more at his disposal, and you wonder whether Harvey Barnes might just be thrown on in the final 10 minutes or so of the game. 1-1 it remains. Here is Basham forward again to Sander Berg with mud all the way down to the back of his jersey. Sander Berg up against Tillemans. Sander Berg plays it down the right hand side to Basham, who can't keep it in play. Leicester have a throw. Phillips has gone back to Johnny Evans on the edge of the 18-yard box. Now Fofana. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Dink forward for Iheanacho to try and pluck from the sky. His first touch was heavy, and across comes Egan for Sheffield United. It will be cleared forward now by Bryant. One back on halfway by Fofana, and then a lovely turn by Ndidi. Here's Kelechi Iheanacho, the ex-Manchester City man, running towards the penalty area. Justin was up in support. He plays it into Fuchs, well forward again instead. Now Tillemans with a good-looking ball towards the right-hand side, headed away as far as Maddison only. Maddison with a dink cross over the head of Vardy. Justin will keep Leicester on the front foot here. Fuchs back to Tillemans once more. And now Fuchs with a chance to cross right into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah,
1-1.
Good build-up play by Leicester. Very, very patient, moving the ball across the pitch. But they just second half just lacked that final ball, that extra little bit of quality to find a Jamie Vardy, to find an Iheanacho, to find a Maddison in that area to be able to get that, to convert that opportunity. So I think that's been a difference from the first half to the second half.
10 minutes plus stoppage time to play, and we'll be off to North London for Tottenham against Arsenal, the game of the weekend in the Premier League. Christian Fuchs being closed down and put under pressure by Oliver Berg, and he's given it away to Sander Berg. Berg's got McBurney in the centre, and he's put it far too close to the goalkeeper. I think the flag was up anyway, saving Berg's blushes. And it will be a free kick for Leicester inside their own 18-yard box.
That was just very unfortunate. I mean, that's a tight decision again, but you know, Oliver Burt just looked tired there, tired legs. He'd worked so hard to win the ball back and just needed that extra little bit of quality, because he works so hard and he does such a good job for the team, but when it's needed as a striker to get that ball across to his strike partner, it just wasn't there.
And that was Oliver Burke's last influence on proceedings, because Ryan Brewster still looking for his first Sheffield United goal in his 7th appearance since his big money move from Liverpool is coming on. So fresh legs for Sheffield United up alongside Ollie McBurney, with 9 minutes plus added on time to play. 1-1 at Bramall Lane. Iheanacho trying to get Leicester forward on the right hand side, and then there was a coming together between Albrighton and Bryan. I'm not sure which player was really at fault. Both went in high, both were off the pitch and feeling the force of it.
You okay, Mark?
I'm not sure which way that would go, to be honest. It was a 50-50 challenge, both players committed.
Okay.
Arguably Albrighton got to the ball first.
That'd be a sore one, that, just to kick on the calf, but unintentional, just trying to clear the ball there. But an opportunity for Leicester to put the ball in the box now, and try and score themselves from a set piece.
Yeah, that will be the frustration for Brendan Rodgers. Another set piece goal conceded. Maddison with the free kick, a yard in from the right touchline. That's going to be too close to Ramsdale, and too often Leicester's final ball into the penalty area has let them down this afternoon, particularly from dead ball scenarios.
It has. You're right, Alex, because James Maddison possesses that quality, especially on a dead ball kick when he's got all the time, he's composed. I'd expect more from him there, to be honest. So that has been a little bit disappointing.
Ryan Brewster offside, so a free kick for Leicester. Chris Wilder still kicking every ball. It's a free kick inside the centre circle that Johnny Evans plays out to the right hand side, and Albrighton, who is back on his feet having recovered from that injury, into Vardy. Disappointing so far for Jamie Vardy and for many, I'm sure, around the world who made him captain in their fantasy football teams. Just hasn't really, apart from that shot against the post in the first half, been able to influence proceedings perhaps we would have expected, particularly given his good away record this season.
And especially against Sheffield United as well, with him being a Sheffield Wednesday fan, so he would have loved to have scored that goal earlier.
Yeah, he looked very pumped up before kick-off as well, Jamie Vardy. The teams came out. Very soggy afternoon now in Sheffield. You can see the pitch cutting up a bit as well. Here is Vardy. Will he make me eat my words? No, because he's been dispossessed inside the Sheffield United area by Egan. Forward it goes now from Sander Berg, looking to use the fresh legs of Rian Brewster, who spotted Schmeichel off his line and tries to dink one just wide.
Really clever play from him. You can see he has that quality. Good run, awareness of Casper being off his line, tried to chip the keeper, and what a goal that would have been, but just couldn't quite execute it.
Yeah, Schmeichel happy to see that one sail wide. It's never nice as a goalkeeper being lobbed. It's the one thing they hate, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. But he looked a little bit worried for a couple of seconds there.
Rian Brewster still looking to justify that hefty price tag. Player that Liverpool rate so highly that they did insist on a buyback clause when he made the move to Bramall Lane.
But it's a good player, a really good player, and it's an investment that Chris Wilder doesn't get many things wrong, so he obviously sees something in him. Scored a lot of goals at Swansea last season, I believe.
He did. Here's Vardy trying to get in behind Egan again, but he's done a great job, John Egan, up against Jamie Vardy. Lovely switch of play though from Vardy to Albrighton, right corner of the area. Here's Iheanacho. Sheffield United just for a moment look a bit ragged, but Iheanacho hasn't really made the most of it, and it will be cleared by Sander Berg. That really sums up Leicester's second half. Here's Christian Fuchs. He's conceded a foul. Heavy challenge from Fuchs.
Yeah, he's been booked as well.
On Ollie McBurney. He's covered every blade of grass on this Bramall Lane pitch, McBurney, this afternoon. That was a foul by Fuchs when McBurney was in the right back position.
Yeah, he's been excellent. He really has. And that goal would have done him the world of good. But you're right there. His work rate's been top class, and the defensive head is in his own box, and then the header he scored in the Leicester box to get his goal. So an excellent performance, and that'll do him the world of good. It build his confidence up, and hopefully he can kick on for the rest of the season.
4 minutes. All that separates Sheffield United from a well-earned point here this afternoon against Leicester. Offside flag up against Brewster again, much to his frustration. Chris Wilder still looking a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive. From a morale perspective, if they were to concede late on here, it would be a crushing blow for Sheffield United.
It really would, and I think we mentioned early on that both managers would look to win the game, but I think Chris now would take a point. He really would, and see it as a good point as well, especially after going a goal down and the reaction they've had, and they defended superb really against a good Leicester team who've had a lot of possession. So I think a point today in the position they're in with 4 minutes to go, I think Chris would take it.
Here is Fofana for Leicester into Youri Tielemans. They haven't exactly peppered the goal, Leicester, in the second half. Can't think of too many saves that Ramsdale has really had to make. And that's credit to the way the Sheffield United have defended their penalty area, a bit more like the Sheffield United of last season, making themselves difficult to beat, difficult to break down. Here's Albrighton now, up against Osborne. Slips but still keeps the ball mark. Albrighton, tenacious play by Osborne, forcing him back to the halfway line, and Evans. Here's Albrighton again. Fana has taken up a position on the right wing for Leicester. Iheanacho into Tielemans now, 15 yards outside the penalty area. Down the right, and Albrighton. Tielemans has picked it up and finds Iheanacho. Pass from Madison was a poor one. It's a goal kick for Sheffield United, who again were very well organised there defensively.
Yeah, really well organised, and it's been the theme really. Good passing by Leicester, good combinations, 1-2 touch, moving Sheffield United around, but they kept their structure, kept their discipline, and forced Leicester into playing that pass just a little bit too quick, and it goes out of play. So good defending by Sheffield United, and they've done that very, very well second half.
Brendan Rodgers still trying to cajole his team on. Leicester at the moment passing on the chance to go level with the likes of Liverpool and Tottenham in the Premier League table. 18 points up to this moment in the season. Very decent start to the campaign, but defeat against Fulham, backed up by a draw against Sheffield United, 2 games that they would have been expected to win if they are to be considered genuine top 4 contenders. Leicester City.
It's funny really, isn't it? It's because they went to Anfield as title contenders. They lose to Liverpool 4-0, and then they lose a couple of games, bit of bad form, and it's just amazing how football can change so quickly.
The cream seems to be rising in the Premier League, though, as I mentioned earlier, a much more familiar feel now to the top end of the table. And you have to say, down at the bottom, it almost looks like a 3 from 4 scenario, doesn't it? West Brom, Fulham, Sheffield United and Burnley.
Yeah, it does. It's been a really good start to the season, you know. It's different with the fans not being in, and a few results that you wouldn't have seen coming. So I think it'll be an exciting season this year. I really do in the Premier League.
Leicester want a foul there against Baldock. Justin has gone down holding his ankle. I think throw-in is the decision. Good tackle by Justin. Listen, that did look like a foul by Baldock. Just caught him on the knee, and then had another go down the Achilles as well.
Yeah, just a couple of nicks trying to win the ball back. So I think the right call, a free kick to Leicester.
Leicester now have a throw-in level with their 18-yard line. We're about to move into stoppage time at the end of the game. Leicester in front on 24 minutes. Jose Perez with a rare Premier League goal, cancelled out almost immediately after by a header from McBurney. Another goal conceded from a set piece for Leicester, and it's been a very tight affair since then. But Maddison has found Vardy. He's in behind for the first time. Jamie Vardy wins the game for Leicester with seconds remaining. The boyhood Sheffield Wednesday fan scores at Bramall Lane. Despair for Chris Wilder, joy for Brendan Rodgers. It is Sheffield United 1, Leicester City 2, and that really the first time that Jamie Vardy's got in behind the Sheffield United defence. And you know the rest, Dean Hammond.
Yeah, well, we've talked all afternoon, especially second half, that Jamie's been a little bit quiet, that James Maddison's been a little bit quiet, but it's their combination. A brilliant through ball. Jamie's onside, look, his pace, he's so quick, and he's a really good finisher, really composed, a great finish, and, you know, he goes right to the 90th minute, and that's the danger he possesses, and Sheffield United will be so disappointed because they've just given the ball away so cheaply in the middle of the field at such a pivotal point of the game. You know, the 90th minute, just play your percentages, but a great finish by Jamie, and Leicester will be buzzing because they've not been at their best second half.
Chris Wilder was actually crouching down on the edge of the technical areas. Vardy went one-on-one with Ramsdale. He's taken out the corner flag. Vardy as he slides in celebration. That's what it means to him. But what a sucker punch for Sheffield United. Just when it looked like they were going to get a point to get their season off and running, Jamie Vardy surely has taken the points back to the King Power. Leicester's impressive away record continuing here.
And you do feel disappointed for Sheffield because they've worked so hard second half. They've been disciplined, their shape's been excellent, it really has, and they've worked with that mentality of working hard for their manager, and I thought they deserved a point, but you know, with the quality that Jamie has and James Maddison, they've just combined so well, and a brilliant finish under pressure, great finish.
Only 2 added minutes as well at the end of the game. I think there might be 1 or 2 more now because of the amount of time it took to get the game restarted. Vardy was shown a yellow card for a foul on the corner flag. I've not seen that before.
Well, 2 foot in the corner flag or being booked for breaking the corner flag?
Must be one of the most bizarre bookings in the history of the Premier League. We can laugh about it. Chris Wilder isn't laughing. He's absolutely furious. He looks like he's about to explode, the Sheffield United manager. About to self-combust on the touchline. But ultimately, we're 11 games into the season. That goal in the first half from McBurney is only the 5th goal that Sheffield United have scored. And they're going down, Dean Hammond. I don't share the hope for you that Sheffield United have got any chance of staying up.
It'd be difficult for them because you'll be judged on the amount of goals you score. You really are, because you're just under pressure to keep so many clean sheets, and that's difficult in this league, in the Premier League, with such top quality strikers and creative players. It's hard to keep clean sheets. So I understand where you're coming from there. Maybe it's out of hope more than anything from myself that they can get out of it, because they're a good side. They've showed that again today, but you know, they've been performing pretty well all season, but they keep losing games, and if you're losing games, you're going to struggle.
James Maddison has also been shown a yellow card. Dennis Pratt is about to come on for Leicester, just to waste a few seconds. We're into the 4th added minute now. There are actually 3 added on. The ball was wrong, and it's Pratt replacing Maddison, whose delivery at times this afternoon hasn't been up to his usual high standards, but with that one defence-splitting pass, Maddison creating the winning goal for Jamie Vardy, really showing his worth to this team.
He really did, and we mentioned that his set pieces have not been up to his standard, but when it really mattered, when he really needed to concentrate and slide that ball through to Jamie, he was on point, and that just shows the quality of the player. And you know, when them two combine and them two are playing together because of the understanding they have, that's when Leicester are the most dangerous.
Well, we're in the hands of the referee now in terms of how many added minutes there will be at the end of added time. Sheffield United with one last chance maybe to rescue a point, volleyed away by Johnny Evans, who's been peerless at the heart of the Leicester defence. The Foxes up to 3rd in the table as it stands, level with Tottenham and Liverpool, courtesy of that late goal from Jamie Vardy, which surely has won the game. Sheffield United will remain 6 points adrift of safety, 1 point from 11 matches played for the home team, as Osborne wins a corner right at the death here. And we know all about Leicester when it comes to defending set pieces, so maybe one last twist in the towel here on Premier League Live.
Yeah, they're going to have to concentrate now and defend. They need to be alert now, because this is their weakness, particularly today.
Aaron Ramsdale has come forward, and he's headed away by Fofana into the body of Ramsdale. Jamie Vardy taking on the goalkeeper, and there is the full-time whistle. Vardy the match winner, away from home again. Leicester City have taken all 3 points. Chris Wilder, disconsolate, heads straight back to the dressing room. It looked to be a precious point for Sheffield United after McBurney's header had cancelled out Perez's opener, but Jamie Vardy in stoppage time winning the game for Leicester. More despair for Sheffield United. It finishes here. Sheffield United 1, Leicester City 2.